Some of the world's best athletes are women, and that's the subject of today's Idea of the Day. I find it interesting that women today are underrepresented in professional sports. There are women's leagues. We know that. There's the women's NBA, there's women's boxing, Layla Ali was a champion for a while. That's not the point. Women should have just as much of a right to play in professional sports as men, and in the same venues and with the same players. Like, for example, if you took the best women's baseball player, she may or may not be at, let's say, Derek Jeter's level, but we'll never know that because she's never been able to play on the same field as a Derek Jeter. It's almost to me like when there used to be a Negro League, and for many years there was this stigma. Of course, they didn't have the ability to play with the white men, and of course Jackie Robinson broke that barrier, and there was a weird stigma there, and of course that's why they had their own league. Why is it that we have a barrier between women and men's sports? Why not just have a national? There's nothing in the Major League Baseball or the NBA or the NFL that has the word male in it or men's in it. As far as I'm concerned, there should be just one NFL, one NBA, one Major League Baseball, and that should be gender neutral. There's no reason why a woman should not be able to compete if she has the skills to make the cut on the team. I mean, they'd have to work out little issues about locker rooms and stuff like that, but they're already working that out now. And it's also interesting, by the way, if somebody is, let's say, a woman who she's going through a sex change. They have been precedents where, women that were going through that played, let's say, tennis, and they played against men. And of course, tennis, by the way, I have to give them credit. They actually have had a lot more progression as far as mixed genders, but they still kind of segregate the two primarily. There have been some famous men and women who faced each other. But I think in all sports, for what it's worth, there's no reason why a woman who wants to play in a professional sporting environment can't play with the men. I mean, I know for a fact that when I was young, there were a lot of girls my age who were drastically better than a lot of the guys that were on the Little League teams, the high school teams. They played at a level that was just simply stellar. In my high school, for example, we had a women's softball team that was really second to none. They literally not only won the city championship, but they won using what's known as the mercy rule, which means that in the championship game, where they're literally playing the best team in the entire New York City, they not only beat them, but they beat them with the mercy rule, meaning they had such a lopsided score that they had to end the game. So if I took any one of those girls, women, they were high school girls at the time, and they wanted to play in a professional team, maybe they weren't necessarily, again, on Derek Jeter's level. We'll never know. There's no reason why a woman shouldn't be able to play in the same sporting venues with male players. There's no reason why that shouldn't happen. And that's today's Idea of the Day. All right. So that's today's Idea of the Day. I hope you liked it. If you visit ideaoftheday.com, you'll see a new one every day. Every day. Yeah, some of them don't suck. And don't forget to subscribe. And you can see them here every day. Brand new one. And some of my videos don't suck either.